watching CVR News English with me, Havila Kuttapalli. Welcome to today's special story.
Hello, I'm Sunny Williams. I'm up here on the International Space Station.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 9 mission successfully completed its 9th commercial crew rotation to the International Space Station. Well, the crew, including NASA astronauts Nick Hague, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbunow, and returned safely to Earth aboard the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. Well, the mission, which involved conducting vital scientific experiments and technology demonstrations, highlights the ongoing success of NASA's commercial crew program. Now let's explore the role of SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, the key vehicle in this historic mission.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 9 mission has successfully completed its 9th commercial crew rotation to the International Space Station, marking another significant milestone in space exploration. On Tuesday, the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft safely splashed down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, carrying NASA astronauts Nick Hague, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbunow back to Earth. After their travel by SpaceX recovery vessels, the crew will be flown to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, where they will reunite with their families. Speaking on the crew's return, NASA Acting Administrator Janet Petro said, "We are thrilled to have Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore, Nick and Alexander home after their months-long mission conducting vital science, technology demonstrations and maintenance aboard the International Space Station." The Crew 9 mission saw Hague and Gorbunow launch from Cape Canaveral on September 28, 2024, aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, while Williams and Wilmore launched in Boeing Starliner spacecraft. Together, they spent months aboard the ISS, conducting groundbreaking experiments and contributing to maintenance efforts. Notably, Sunita Williams set a new record for the most total spacewalking time by a female astronaut with 62 hours and 6 minutes in space. The crew worked on more than 150 unique scientific experiments, including investigations into plant growth, stem cell technology, and space environment studies. The Dragon spacecraft used for Crew 9's mission, named Freedom, was the 4th flight for this particular spacecraft, which has also supported previous NASA missions. It will now be inspected and processed at a SpaceX refurbishing facility in Cape Canaveral. NASA's commercial crew program continues to provide safe and reliable transportation for astronauts to and from the International Space Station. This program not only supports ongoing research but also contributes to NASA's preparations for the human exploration of the Moon and Mars. Crew 9's mission has once again demonstrated the incredible dedication of astronauts and the groundbreaking technology of SpaceX, advancing the frontiers of space exploration for the benefit of humanity.
I really appreciate my Indian heritage and was glad I could bring part of it with me to space. Ganesh has always been in my house. Everywhere I've lived, I've had Ganesh, and so he had to come with me to space, of course. And Indian food, you can never get enough of Indian food. I was so excited to come here to know that I would be eating Indian food, so I had to make sure I had samosas in space with me. Bhagavad Gita, and this last time I brought a small copy interpretation of Upanishad with me. I also brought, along with the Bhagavad Gita, the Odyssey, And I thought that was also quite appropriate to be in space and have those types of things to reflect and read upon.
SpaceX Dragon spacecraft is a groundbreaking vessel capable of carrying up to 7 passengers to from Earth orbit and beyond. It is one of the spacecraft that can be written substantial cargo to Earth and first private spacecraft to transport humans to the International Space Station. With a height of 8.1 meters and a diameter of 4 meters, the Dragon has a payload capacity of 6,000 kg per launch and 3,000 kg per return. Equipped with 16 Draco thrusters for precise control and a parachute system for safe re-entry. Dragon is a key player in both NASA's mission and commercial space travel, offering vital support for exploration beyond our planet.
The Dragon spacecraft, developed by SpaceX, is a cutting-edge, versatile vehicle capable of carrying up to 7 passengers to and from Earth orbit and beyond. It is the only spacecraft currently flying that can return significant cargo to Earth and the first private spacecraft to transport humans to the International Space Station. Measuring 8.1 meters in height and 4 meters in diameter, Dragon can carry a payload of 6,000 kilograms for launch and return 3,000 kilograms of cargo to Earth. With the 16 Draco thrusters, it provides precise control during mission maneuvers and orbit adjustments. The Dragon is equipped with an advanced parachute system to ensure safe landing, including 2 rogue parachutes for re-entry stabilization and 4 main parachutes to decrease speed before touchdown. SpaceX Dragon spacecraft has revolutionized space travel, carrying NASA astronauts and commercial crews to the International Space Station and beyond, paving the way for future exploration. Who are the 2 astronauts who were stuck in space? The 2 astronauts who were stranded on the International Space Station for an unexpected 9-month journey are 59-year-old Sunita "Sunny" Williams and 62-year-old Barry "Butch" Wilmore, both highly experienced NASA astronauts with impressive careers in space. Williams, who currently serves as the commander of the ISS, is a retired United States Navy officer who joined NASA back in 1998. Throughout her illustrious career, she has spent an incredible 322 days in space and completed 9 spacewalks, setting a high standard for space exploration. In fact, she held the record for the most spacewalks by a female astronaut until 2017, when the title was taken by fellow astronaut Peggy Whitson, who completed 10 on the other hand. Barry Wilmore, a veteran astronaut who first ventured into space in 2009. Aboard the Space Shuttle Atlantis, has logged 178 days in space. Over the years, he served in multiple roles from flight engineer to commander and has conducted crucial research on how plants grow in space, the impacts of microgravity on the human body, and the environmental changes occurring on Earth. In the recent mission, Wilmore took on the role of commander, while Williams served as the pilot of the Boeing Starliner. These 2 astronauts, with their combined experience and expertise, have faced extraordinary challenges, but their dedication to space exploration continues to inspire us all.
So this is Node 2. This is a really cool module. Of course, most of these modules you'll see they have 4 sides and they're put together. That way we could sort of work on a flat plane, either a wall, a floor, another wall, or the ceiling. But you know, again, all you have to do is turn yourself and your reference changes. The reason I'm bringing that up is because this is where 4 out of 6 of us sleep. And so people always ask about sleeping in space. Do you lie down? Are you in a bed? Not really, because it doesn't matter. You don't really have the sensation of lying down. You just sit in your sleeping bag. So here's one sleep station right here. I'm going in right now. You can follow me if you want. So I'm inside. It's sort of like a little phone booth, but it's pretty comfy. I've got a sleeping bag right here that we sleep in, so we don't have sort of like a little bit of a cover. We don't fly all over the place. But you can sleep in any orientation. I have it feeling like I'm standing up right now, but like you saw, I'm on the floor, but it doesn't matter if I turn over and I sleep upside down. I don't have any sensation in my head that tells me that I'm upside down, so it really doesn't matter. The sleep station is also like a little office. We've got a computer in here. As you can see, we've got a couple little toys. I've got some books. I've got some clothes and other things that make it sort of like home. I'm coming out. And just for reference, that's one sleep station. This one's another.
The Crew Dragon capsule has originally brought astronauts Nick Hague and Alexander Gorbanov to the ISS, leaving 2 empty seats for Williams and Wilmore. However, they couldn't return until a replacement crew, Crew 10, arrived at the ISS. Crew 10, which launched from Kennedy Space Center on Friday, docked with the station on Sunday at 12:04 a.m. AT, making room for Williams and Wilmore to finally head home. The reason for their extended stay: technical issues with their original spacecraft, Boeing Starliner, which had experienced helium leaks and thruster malfunctions during its journey to the ISS. Despite attempts to fix the spacecraft, NASA deemed it too risky for the astronauts' return. In August 2024, the decision was made to bring them back on a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule, and with the arrival of Crew 10, Williams and Wilmore were able to return to Earth after more than 9 months in space.
Here's a pretty cool place. This is sort of like in your house where everybody meets in the morning. After you wash your face, brush your teeth, you want to find something for breakfast. And this is our kitchen. You might notice there's all sorts of foods here. It's like opening the refrigerator. You got all your different stuff that you want to have: drinks, meats, eggs, vegetables, cereals, bread, snacks. And that's a good place. That's where you find all the candy. Side dishes, and then some little power bars just in case. So we have all this type of food. Some of it is dehydrated, and so we have to hydrate it, fill it up with water. Some of it is already made, and then all we have to do is heat it up. So something like this, I'm pulling out barbecued beef brisket. Pretty yummy. Not only is this food made in the US, but we also have food here from Japan. We've got Russian food. As you can see, all these red containers are filled with food that's from Russia. And then we get some of our specialty stuff, some things that we like, some of our favorite stuff that your family can send up. In fact, I like fluffernutters, and so I got sent up some fluff so I could make my fluffernutter with peanut butter. So you have a lot of food up here, no problems.
NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore spent over 9 months in the space, far beyond their original 8-day mission, and their extended stay began on June 5, 2024, after technical issues with their spacecraft delayed the return. Despite the unexpected delay, both astronauts stayed healthy, maintaining fitness with regular exercise and enjoying a festive Christmas dinner aboard the ISS. They kept in touch with their families and remained positive, even conducting a spacewalk in January. Their ability to adapt and stay strong highlights the resilience required for long-duration space missions.
NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore had initially been scheduled for a brief 8-day stay aboard the International Space Station after launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida on June 5, 2024. However, due to unforeseen technical issues with their spacecraft, their stay in space was extended to an extraordinary 9 months before they finally returned to Earth. Despite the unexpected extension, both astronauts remained in good health throughout their time in orbit. They adhered to a strict routine on the ISS, which included daily exercise to counteract the effects of microgravity. Williams and Wilmore used the station's treadmill and resistance machines to maintain their muscle strength and bone density, crucial for astronauts on long missions. In addition to exercise, several space agencies and private companies carried out resupply missions throughout the year, ensuring they had enough food, water, and oxygen. These supplies kept them well equipped during their extended stay. For the holidays, the two astronauts even managed to enjoy a special Christmas dinner, which included delicious like smoked oysters, crab, duck, foie gras, cranberry sauce, Atlantic lobster, and smoked salmon, as reported by the Times newspaper. This festive meal was a great treat that helped them maintain morale during the long mission. Williams and Wilmore also stayed in regular contact with their families via email and phone, offering reassurance and updates from space. In an interview with NBC's Lester Holt, Williams shared that she and Wilmore were feeling good, working out, eating right, and that they were keeping their spirits up despite the long wait. She added, "We had a lot of fun up here too. People who are worried about us really don't worry about us. We are happy crew up here." The positive outlook and teamwork were essential to thriving in such a challenging and prolonged mission.
We've had opportunities to do all sorts of science, spacewalks. It's varied and pretty awesome, actually, opportunity to do something different every single day.
You can see Butch Wilmore with the different canisters to collect those microorganism swabs.
A great view from the helmet camera of NASA astronaut Nick Hague. You can see floating off just past that left hand of his. Those are the wedge-shaped NICER patches that he'll be inserting into the NICER experiment, the X-ray telescope.
Anytime you look out the window, it's pretty amazing. The Aurora Borealis, the Aurora Australis, just to see the variety of the Earth from above, it's just thrilling.
These are called astrobees. So they actually can come off the wall and fly around. Huge opportunities for people to test out guidance navigation control on a quote-unquote spacecraft in microgravity inside here. So we have companies, universities, students all flying these astrobees around at different times. Some of them are actually even grabbing onto other pieces that we might have floating around, and that might help us clean up space debris. We have a tray right here that does some combustion experiments. Right on the other side of Butch is a glove box where we've done some stem cell research as well as DNA sequencing. And there's an airlock where it can take payloads out of the space station, and those could be Earth observation satellites, they could be launchers of other microsatellites, they could be doing all sorts of amazing stuff.
Williams and Wilmore are the first astronauts to face extended stays in space. The longest US space flight was Frank Rubio's 371-day mission in 2022-23. Extended due to issues with his South spacecraft, he also returned on a different capsule. In 1991, Soviet astronaut Sergei Kriklev was stranded on the Mir for 311 days due to the dissolution of the Soviet Union, delaying his return. He finally landed in the 1992, not in the Soviet Union, but in a newly independent Russia.
Have astronauts been stuck in space before? Yes, Williams and Wilmore are not the first to face an extended stay in orbit due to unforeseen circumstances. There have been several instances where astronauts had to stay in space longer than planned, often due to technical issues or geopolitical events. The longest single space flight by a US astronaut was Frank Rubio's mission aboard the International Space Station ISS, which lasted an incredible 307 71 days from 2022 to 2023. Initially, his mission was planned to be 6 months, but it was extended when technical issues with the Soyuz spacecraft that brought him to orbit prevented his return. Rubio finally made it home on a different Soyuz capsule. And the remarkable case was that of Soviet astronaut Sergei Krikalev. In 1991, Krikalev was aboard the Mir space station for 311 days after his return was delayed by the sudden dissolution of the Soviet Union. Political turmoil and severe funding shortages left him stranded in orbit far longer than anyone had anticipated. When he finally returned to Earth in March 1992, he didn't land in the Soviet Union but in a newly independent Russia, marking a significant moment in space history during a time of major political upheaval.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 9 mission marks a significant achievement in space exploration, demonstrating the continued success and collaboration between NASA and SpaceX. The return of Crew 9 astronauts after their months-long mission abroad, the ISS underscores advancements in space technology and human space flight. The SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, with its versatility and innovative design, continues to play a crucial role in transporting astronauts to from the ISS as well as advancing the future of space exploration. Well, this mission not only contributes to vital scientific research but also strengthens our preparation for future missions to the moon, well, Mars and beyond.
Hello, I'm Sunny Williams. I'm up here on the International Space Station.
Well, that's all for today's special story. Keep watching CVR News English. This is Havila Kuttapalli. Have a good day.